Video, I want to talk about confidence. I want to talk about clearance to park cars. I want to talk about meeting traffic and knowing when to stop and give way. So it's quite a big subject, but if you've got a parked car on the left and you've got people coming towards you and there's limited space, we need to be really careful. Now, I hear all the time, students are like, I don't want to be done for hesitation, right? And yes, of course, yeah, we don't want to be driving around like a learner. I've made so many videos about you can't go to your test and be a learner anymore. However, there is this confusion and this mix-up that going when there's blatantly not enough space, this is where it can get dangerous, yeah, because you're far too close to parked cars, which is a huge reason why people fail their tests. If the examiner thinks that you are a candidate for hitting people's cars or smashing people's mirrors off, you are going to fail. Yeah, if you're too close to parked cars, you're going to fail, definitely. We need to look at the situation and just ask ourselves some questions. First of all, we need to notice that the parked cars are even coming up in the first place. So you're driving down the road, there's no hazards. Okay, fine, we're driving quite quickly, we're doing the speed limit, great. But then we come up to a mess, parked cars on both sides, that's what I call it. Okay, you're coming up to a mess. The road is getting messy. Now, we don't want to go into the mess because that makes it messier. We need to analyse the mess. Is the parked car only on our side? Okay, yes, that means it's oncoming people's priority. Is there only enough space for them to come through? I don't know. Okay, well, don't go. Come up to it, stop 2 car lengths away from the parked car. Err on the side of caution, right? Hold back. If you stop because you really didn't know whether you could fit through the gap, you are the driver. If you don't think you can fit through the gap, it doesn't matter what Bob thinks next to you. It doesn't matter what the oncoming person thinks. It doesn't matter about the people at the side of the road who are trying to cross the road think. You are the driver of the car. If you honestly can say that you don't know whether you can fit through the gap, you mustn't go. You are the driver. Don't go. If you don't know, don't go. Come up to the situation, stop 2 car lengths before the car, yeah, and reanalyze it when you've stopped there. It's safer for you not to go if you've slowed down in a sensible way, if for not going and then realizing that you can and then going. Okay. Now, it is vitally important that as the driver you do this, because if you go into situations and you go, I don't know whether I can fit, this is unbelievably dangerous. You're going to smash off people's mirrors. You're going to take out cars. The oncoming person may be in danger. Yeah. And because you said, I don't know if I can fit, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. This is not a good idea. If you stop and you stop incorrectly because there was loads of space, you can analyse that in microseconds. You can stop and be like, oh, there's enough space. There's so enough space. I so shouldn't be stopped here. So much safer. And then you can just go straight away. If you stop when you shouldn't, and then you start looking out the window and you're like, oh, that's a nice bird. That's a nice house, that's a nice flower, then we're going to miss gaps because maybe the person oncoming is smaller now. They have a smaller car. Maybe it's just a scooter. Maybe it's just a bike now. Maybe the oncoming people have moved out of the way. Yeah, so things can change under that respect as well. Err on the side of caution. Stop. If you don't know, don't go. It's so much better. The other thing that I want to talk about is this confidence thing. I know I mentioned it at the beginning of this video, but having the confidence to stop all of the people behind you, that is where the confidence is. Lots of my students are like, I need to show confidence that I can fit through the gap. Not when there's not enough space, you don't. Yeah, because we're going to smash into things, crash into things, take mirrors off. The confidence is having the balls to stop the people behind. You've got 12 people behind you. You're the front of the conga line. You're the head of the snake. And you've decided that you can't fit through. You have to have the balls, the confidence to slow the people behind. That is skilled. Because you have to have the confidence to stop all the traffic and be like, no, I don't think I can fit. And you know how that feels, right? No, I don't think we can fit. And I am stopping all of the traffic because I don't think I can fit or you can fit behind. Yeah. If you stop when you shouldn't have done because there's loads of space, pause momentarily. If you really didn't think you could go, the people behind won't be able to know if they can go either. Slow down and then pause and go, oh, I can totally go. Check your mirrors and then go. If the space is absolutely massive, yeah, you're going to know that you can fit through the gap. Can I fit through the gap? Yeah, I can fit through the gap. And off you go through the gap. Can you fit through the gap? That's a stop. That's a stopping noise. Can you fit through the gap? I don't know. Okay, stop. Stop. Your instructor may think that you can fit through the gap, yeah? But you're the driver. There has to be a time where you release your driving instructor. You have to release them. You can't turn around to your driving instructor when your test is like knocking on the door and it's like literally in a week, 2 weeks, in a month. You can't keep on turning around to your accompanying driver and going, can I fit? You need to know whether you can fit through the gap. And the only way that you're going to do that is stopping, reanalyzing, being in a lower gear perhaps, and then going. Like I've said in lots of my other videos, if you put me in a larger vehicle like a bus or a truck or an HGV, I would stop more than usual for a while because I'm getting used to the size of my vehicle. I would have to stop all the traffic behind me. I would have to become the head of the snake. Yeah, and I would have to stop all the people behind me and have the balls to do that. Yeah, that's where the confidence is. My 13-year-old son, yeah, I could put him in the car and he wouldn't stop for any narrow situation because he's got no skill. He'd be able to get the car moving. Yeah. Would be able to go down the road. Yeah. Would he be able to stop? No, because he's got no skill. The skill is in you stopping. The skill is in you saying, I don't think I can fit through this gap. I've got the balls to stop traffic. Yeah. And I know that you're sat there going, oh yeah, but what happens if I get beeped? If you don't know, you mustn't go through the gap. Because if you go and you hit the cars and you smash off mirrors, you've got serious problems on your hands. Because if you drive away from that, that is a criminal damage if you don't stop and report that. If somebody sees you do that and reports you, you're in trouble with the law. That's a hit and run. So you don't want to be in that situation. You need to stop, yeah, and go, I don't know. Look at the gap. I'm the head of the snake. I've held back all traffic because I didn't think I could fit. Yeah. I know it takes time and I know that you need some help to begin with. Yeah, of course. But you don't want to be relying on your driving instructor when you're weeks away from your driving test and you're asking if you can fit through the gap. You need to release your driving instructor. You need to stop more. Think of somebody who's going to learn an HGV. If there was an HGV, a lorry, a truck or bus coming towards you, yeah, and it was your priority and they had a parked car on their side and they overtook the car in their HGV, their bus, because they didn't know whether they could fit through the gap, and then you've got a bus coming towards you and it's your priority, I think you'd be pretty annoyed if the bus driver hit you and went, I didn't know whether I could fit through the gap, so I just did it anyway because I was worried about the people behind being annoyed with me. And you've had a head-on collision with the bus, you know. If you don't know, don't go. The confidence is in stopping the traffic behind you, having the balls for that. It isn't confidence going everywhere. If I meet a student who's going around really fast and not stopping for things, actually, I don't think they're a very confident driver at all, because our decision making is not good. You know, the confidence is in I'm stopping traffic and I'm like, yeah, this person, they know how to drive. They know how to wear their crown. They know how to stop traffic when they're not sure about things. I'm impressed. This person's keeping the car safe. This person is keeping the parked cars safe. This person is keeping the passengers in the car safe. Do they have children in the car? Do they have their loved ones in the car? Do they have their dog Rover in the car that they're looking after? If you hit cars, we are talking thousands of pounds worth of damage. Yeah? Is there any point, you know? Whilst you're learning it, stop, feel into your feelings, your gut instincts and inner voice. Can I fit through the gap? That's a stop. Can I fit through the gap? I don't know. Stop. Pause. Reanalyze. Look in your mirrors. Can I go? Yes, I can. All right, great. We've learned that for the next time, the next time, the next time. All right, guys, I really hope this helps you, and I'll see you on the next video.